Good morning and welcome to this week's Revitalise Reconnect Meets. Today I've got the great pleasure to be with a business club member and presently with over 16 years experience as a legal professional. Can you please welcome to the box, to the right of me, to the left of me, the one and only Mr. Billy Smith from Clarity Simplicity. Billy, how are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Lee. I'm absolutely fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Oh, welcome, man. And what we're like, it's good at the moment, the weather. We're just saying there about your weekend. You've had a nice weekend so far?
Yeah, absolutely. I was out in the garden at the weekend, tidying up the garden and doing something that I don't quite enjoy in any other time, which is cutting the grass. And strangely, at this moment in time, I thoroughly enjoy cutting the grass.
It gets you out the house, well and truly. It gets you out the house. So today I wanted to have a quick catch up with you and see what's been going on and see what's been happening, etc. And I'm really pleased you agreed to be part of the next Reconnect Meets series in the episodes that I'm doing. And there's a few questions I really wanted to ask you. I wanted to delve into a bit more about Billy Smith and about Clarity Simplicity and where you are in your business journey right now. One of the first questions that I really wanted to ask you was, could you share, because we've talked about business opportunities quite regularly, even on the golf course and off the golf course, because golf will come into somewhere along this line somewhere in there. What would be your golden tip of advice to a starting entrepreneur in somebody creating their business?
Sure. It's quite a deep one, but it's very important to me. And it's quite simply always operate above the line. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, in life generally, and not just in business life, we've all got choices to make. Those choices determine who and what we are, and we make choices many thousands of times every day. I've been up for a couple of hours already, and already I've made a number of different choices. I try to do my best to make as many positive choices as I possibly can, and I always hold myself accountable for what I do. I always take ownership for the decisions that I make, for the decisions that I take. I take the responsibility for those decisions. I try to avoid blaming someone else for something that I failed to achieve or something that I failed to do. And I try to avoid using excuses or, even worse, living life in some form of denial. It's really these principles which got me through year one at Clarity Simplicity in 2010. And it's still these principles which get both Emma's my co-director at Clarity Simplicity, still these principles that get both of us through everything, including these challenging times at this moment in time.
That's superb. And Emma King is your other director at Clarity Simplicity. That's what I mentioned in there before, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So, yeah, definitely. And you've both been, I mean, I've got to say you do have that accountability every time that we talk. And I think that's quite paramount in regards to whatever you're doing and decisions and how you want to decide to do it and move forward. Mm-hmm. With everything that's happening at present with COVID-19 and everything that's going on around the world around us, and we're in lockdown and we're cutting the grass and we're doing various bits and pieces, how have you diversified your business, Billy?
It's something that it's something we've been doing for years at Clarity Simplicity. That's to say that both Emma and I have always looked at ways of making us better. To be honest, not everything has worked, but we've always tried. And I fully believe that if you don't try, then you'll never know. We've been set up to work remotely at Clarity Simplicity, and what I mean by that is working home, if you like, working at home. We've been in that situation for a good few years, and so the change from the office to working from home in March was really not that difficult for us. What's really been truly fantastic is to see that the public who continue to make inquiries with us, who continue to pick up the phone us and look to get legal advice, they are now more in tune with video link technology to obtain legal advice than they've ever been before. We've always offered the online resources we're all currently using, but sometimes it takes a pretty big shift in people's mindsets in order to actually make this work. The public are now only too happy to talk to us via WhatsApp, FaceTime, Teams, you name it. Yeah. And frankly, long may this continue even after COVID-19. But turning to the specific times that we are in at the moment, our marketing message has changed. Now, absolutely, we're still very much open for business, but first and foremost, we want to be seen to be available to everyone, even if it's just for a natter or just for a moan. We've learned how to embrace technology even better, and one of the main facilities that we're using has made a truly remarkable difference to us in the past few weeks. It's something called Calendly. It's an online function which allows anyone to book time with any one of our solicitors at a time that suits them. Now, lastly, and I fully believe from every negative there's a corresponding positive. I believe that's a scientific fact. I fully believe that from these difficult negative times, positives will come, and in fact, in some of what I mentioned already, more will happen. Beyond that, Emma and I, at the start of the year, set up a new business, entirely separate limited company. It's called Onwards Answering, and it's there to supply telephone answering services, but not just to pick up the phone and say hello and to transfer someone. It's designed specifically to affect your bottom line. It's designed to affect your turnover in a particularly unique method of answering the call and making sure that your inquiries are dealt with correctly. And currently during COVID, insofar as that business is concerned, we are offering to answer anyone's telephones free of charge and hopefully convert inquiries for those people. Thanks, Lee.
No, you're welcome. The answer service that you talk about, and we spoke about it in the early days when you were thinking about it and creating it and putting it into place, is that, I know we said everybody, is that every profession, every industry, because you were looking at just the legal profession at first, weren't you?
We were looking at the legal profession at first, but there's one theme that runs through what we are trying to achieve. And again, going back to what we're trying to achieve, we're trying to affect someone's bottom line. If you are in the business of needing to sit in front of someone and get an opportunity to sell your services, then those are the type of people that we want to be speaking to. Now, absolutely, we can pick up the phone for anyone, but I don't think that would drive value to your business if that's just what you want. It's about driving value for me, and the value, I think, can be on what we call getting bums on seats, and that's what Onwards is designed to do.
Very true.
Get a bum on seat in front of you and give you the opportunity to hopefully convert the potential new client.
And I think it's right what you're saying, regardless of Calendly, and also that, and we should say personal touch, because I think it's, and I've said this phrase quite a lot, as more as the world turns more impersonal, the more personal we have to become. Yeah. And even with the art of technology and the diversification that we've got now, in regards to Zoom and all these other platforms we can use, it's still keeping that personal interaction with people. And Calendly gets it more organized. I think coming out the other side, I think you agree with this, it's going to make us more routine, more structured.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well and truly.
Yeah, absolutely. And just one other thing on that. I already this morning have came into my inbox to a Calendly appointment booked at 1 o'clock tomorrow for half an hour for a new client.
Really?
Other than supplying those services on our website, I've had nothing other to do with that appointment, and that is a new business opportunity. So yeah,
that's great. I look forward to speaking to you more about that after this conversation as well. Well and truly. So sure. And then to bring things around, you've had many achievements, even in personal life to business life, etc. So since starting your business journey 16 years ago, or even past that, what's been your biggest achievement on that business journey so far, and why?
Sure. There's been many achievements along the way. from opening the doors in September 2010 at Clarity Simplicity, when I was in a tiny little office in Paisley. I had 3 or 4 files in the cabinet. I had my laptop, I had my mobile phone, to where we are today, where we've got 3 offices across Glasgow, 22 members of staff. But that isn't what I consider to be my biggest achievement. The biggest achievement I've got is really in the future. That is knowing that as a business owner, I can strive to achieve what I want to achieve. There's only one person that can stop me from achieving what I want to achieve, and that's me. Notwithstanding the current circumstances, COVID-19, provided I always operate my business and my attitude above the line above the line that I referred to earlier, then I'll continue to push this business forward, continue to explore new ways of growing the business, continue to find ways of bringing in new talent, continue to create new opportunities, not just for the business, but for the staff that we've got, and continue to deliver a truly outstanding legal service, ultimately toward creating a business that doesn't need me 24/7 at the helm to steer it forward.
Mm-hmm. And when you get to that stage, you've got a team of people working around you. And I know you've got quite a tight team so far. So looking at the next level, what would take you to the next level right now?
Sure. The COVID-19 has started us thinking about the model of the business that we've got. It's asked us to question what model we had and what model we'll come out of the business with. We believed, and it may well still be the case, we believed that having offices in accessible areas all throughout Scotland, we have this business plan of achieving 14 offices over the next 10 years. And that was our plan before COVID-19 hit. We're learning about remote working here, so whether or not we need the 14 offices or not remains to be seen. What we need, however, and where people could perhaps help me, is we need the talent. I'm not just looking to employ lawyers. I've got to be careful what I say here, but if I can achieve a law degree, a lot of people out there can achieve a law degree. Okay?
Yeah.
If you can be a lawyer and have a commercial attitude at the same time, those are the kind of people we're after. I would therefore truly love to speak to anyone who is out there in Scotland, who is a lawyer, who's maybe thinking, I think I could do this on my own, but I would like a little bit of support. So I'm thinking about, for example, Aberdeen. Is there someone sitting in Aberdeen right now who's in that kind of mindset and who might want just to take that leap of faith, just what I did back in 2010? I'd like to work with that person and see whether they are the next branch, so to speak, of Clarity Simplicity.
Brilliant. I think that's a great sort of goal to set yourself. And and I would recommend to everybody out there who's listening to this podcast and on our channel is just to reach out to Billy and find out a bit more information about that opportunity, because working with a team of people that you surround yourself with that are going to take you to the next level is worth its weight in gold, well and truly, Billy. So thank you very much for sharing that. And thank you for this morning. I know it's been an early start for us, but it sets us up for the week ahead.
Absolutely. And it'll be a good week ahead.
It will indeed. It will indeed.
Appreciate it very much, Lee.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. It's great to learn a bit more about Billy Smith and a bit more about Clarity Simplicity, and also the answering service facility that you have available now to go with. And especially in these trying times, it's always important to diversify and set yourself a goal that you want to achieve, and ask for that goal to be achieved by people around you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks to everybody who's been listening this morning. Really appreciate it. Keep a watch out for the next Revitalise Reconnect meets, where we're meeting a business owner and key influencer from the growing business community across the whole of the UK. Thanks again. Keep safe and have a wonderful week. See you all again soon. Bye-bye for now.